Hello everybody, it is Christine. It is day 7 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Of course, below I'll have the playlist and all that kind of good stuff. And also, I always forget to say this at the beginning, but don't forget to do the like and subscribe thing. So let's see. Let's look at day 7 sketch. I built page kits, so if you've been watching it all, you'll know that I did that. And I can see I've got 4 photos here. I've been hanging on to this one actually because I really thought this was so cute, you guys. My daughter's bridal shoes, because she was getting married outdoors along the edge of a lake. Wasn't really sure how sure the fitting would be, so she got these really cute custom Converse, with a lady actually embroidered them with, you know, these pretty flowers. You put the date on it. These are so cute, you guys. And so this is the pictures from when the day she got them. Oh, my printer messed them up. Shoot, I'm gonna have to reprint those. Anyway, that's the day she got them. That's the package that came in. This is her little shoes. She got a pair of socks with it. It was so cute, you guys. And the coolest part is I got this. This was the Scrap Room Flavors of the Month from June 2025. And it's Chamel's Living the Dream, or Live the Dream. And it had these little Converse shoes. And I was like, this is so stinking cute. So that's the papers and the pictures. What's throwing me off, if I'm honest, is this is the sketch. It's a 2-pager. I do not think I intended to do 2 pages. And I've got 4 photos. So I'm like, okay, I must have thought in my mind to squish some of these over and move the big one. I don't know. I mean, none of these are big. So to be frank with you guys, I don't know what made me pick this, this with this. But we'll make it work because that's what I did. I did pull out this piece here. This is a Hip Kit Warm and Cozy for the little font, because I got to have a title. And I don't know, if I'm honest with you, anything in this would have made sense. Let me see what I have in here. Oh, that's cute little mushrooms. Or not mushrooms. Marshmallows. Okay, the camera will work. I think that's cute. Maybe Be Present Now. Maybe Believe. We'll see. A couple of florals, which is helpful. Smile is cute. Probably not the coffee. Show? I don't know. This looks like a cookie. Couple of little like clouds and stuff. I don't think Live and Learn. I don't want that one for a bridal shoe deal. So probably not these. I think I'll have these. I'll set these aside. And of course there's these cute little, I forget the names of these things. They're like enamel things with wood outline, but I don't know what you call those things. All right, so we'll set these aside. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do like, I mean, I kind of put this like the main picture. Maybe this will be like the bigger one. Like, maybe I'll like double, triple mat it or something. And then these can be the 3 along the side, I guess. I do think I wanted to do this as the middle piece here, like that. And let's see. This is a cute color. Oh, look here. Also enamel dots. Didn't realize I had that. There is this cute cardstock. Why do I have extra paper? Oh, I know why. I think because I was guest designing. This could be cute. And if I bring this across the middle, because it's kind of got this up here, which goes kind of like with that right there. Maybe I'll set this aside. It'll give me plenty to work with next time. I don't have to frame it, but I do like to. So if I frame it, no, be this one. And then this goes across the middle. I don't have a scallop thingy. So I wonder though, if I have something in my, I do have these yellow ones. That'd probably work. Okay, let me do a little cutting and I'll be back on in just a second. Okay, everybody, I have trimmed down my paper here and gutted my blue cardstock because I'm going to use it potentially as a photo mat. But I went ahead and reprinted the photos and I printed them in a smaller size because there was no way that was going to fit properly. And then that way I was able to leave this one a 3x4. So now it looks more like the sketch, like in the sense of like this will be the bigger photo, which was on the right-hand side. And then I'll use these 3 here as the little straight pieces. I actually printed one more of the more inside of the shoe, but I don't think that's going to fit. And plus you can kind of see it here, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so the next little bit is to, if we do this, this is supposed to be a little bigger than this band that goes across. So we'll call this, what is that, a 3-inch So maybe we call it, let's do 4. And then if I need to trim it down a 1/2 inch, I can do that. So let's call it 4. And then I got to cut off a little tiny piece here because I want it to be inside my frame. So now let's see what we got going on. If I do this, yeah, that's cute. And I'm going to need to do some kind of photo block or something because it's going to be a little too busy otherwise. I don't want to do too much though because I want to see the shoes. And then my little guy here, let's see. There's a couple of options. I have had this forever, y'all. It's Doodlebugs. I don't know if they still make these, to be honest. I suspect not, but I could be wrong. I've not seen them in a while. Let's see. I guess we're going to go with, let's go with this little piece here. Is that the right shade of yellow? It's kind of a little bit. Let's see. Maybe we'll go with this one. This may be the right shade. Which one, you guys? The golder one shows up a little better against the... But I'm wondering if this color... I don't know, you guys. This one's kind of hard. Maybe I'll do them both. Why not? Because I've had them forever. I could do a double layer. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do that, and we'll be using 2 of them. All right. So... Let me do my photo mats, and I may even, I wish I had a little bit more of this to go across there because what's on the back side of this? No, that wouldn't work really. Actually, this had a little branding strip, but that's a little too dark, I think. Okay, let me do a little, oh, this was kind of cute. This is from an entirely different, that's too short. Entirely different collection, but I'm like, hey, this kind of matches too. I'm not really supposed to have a top up here, but on the other hand, I feel like it has to be separated. I may do that because that kind of matches that. Okay, let me do a little bit of photo matting and cutting, and I'll be back on in a second. Okay, I have matted my photos on that blue cardstock that I had gutted. That's the frame, and I did also do white cardstock with the bigger photo. And you guys, as I was watching back the intro to kind of remind myself, you know, what to say or whatever, what I have already said, I try to do that so I don't repeat myself, but you know, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But anyway, as I was watching and I was looking at that sketch, I realized my original intention was just to do the right side. I was never going to do the left side. So I'm like, Christine, you're so crazy. But I think I like how this turned out anyway, because the paper lent itself, I think, toward me toward me compressing it and still having like the title in the upper left and the little bits and stuff like that. So I actually am really happy with how this turned out, but I was like, I completely forgot my plan. Sometimes I think I should make little notes or something. Like, what was I thinking, you know? So anyway, I've cut down the little shoe paper there. Of course, you saw me do that. And now I'm taking my little, I did glue the little plaid turquoisey strip at the top up there. And then I'm now gluing these 2 yellow Doodlebug pieces together to create a little scallop. It's not technically, I guess it's kind of a scallop. Well, no, it's more like a lacy border or whatever. But anyway, I'm making that. And I'm pleased because I'm using 2 of those up. And I'm going to glue those to the little shoe paper. I just love this shoe paper. It's so perfect for these photos. And then once I get that done, I'm going to end up gluing that down to the backing there of the little ledger on the wood grain. That's such a neat piece of paper too, by the way. I was thinking about, when I was looking at this paper, I was thinking about like designers and, you know, how they come up with stuff and kind of trends in scrapbooking, you know, because of course we love ledgers, we love grids, we love wood grains. It's just funny to me how trends happen. And I don't know, it makes me think of that movie, Devil Wears Prada. And, you know, what's her name? The pretty young girl. I can't think of her name off the top of my head now. She was kind of she kind of snorted and laughed at the color of something. They were talking about some belt or purse or some such, and she kind of snorted. And then the Miranda kind of starts admonishing her about, you know, this came from some designer thing upstream and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what made me think about all that. I'm just thinking about the way colors happen in design and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know. So anyway, as I've been going along here jibber jabbering, I've glued down my bigger photo to the right, and she did have that tilted on the wonk in the sketch, so I did that. And then I've got my 3 little photos here. The middle one's a little crooked. I will fix that, actually. I don't know if I do it before I take the photos or anything, but I will go ahead and fix that at some point in the near future. I do put the far right photo up on foam just because I think it should be. I've got these cheap little foam dots, y'all. I can't stand these things, actually. They came in some kind of little card kit, and they're not very sticky, and I get a little bit aggravated because if I pull on it, if I try to pull the backing off and it's not pressed down kind of good enough, it'll pull the whole thing. Anyway, I don't love these things, so I'm trying to use them up. So I'm going to put that to the right there. And then, honestly, I don't do a ton of embellishment on this one. Normally, I'll take the pre-printed, like, clusters and add to them. But because I really only had that small sampling of embellishments, I didn't want to just stick those little enamel pieces just randomly inside the flower clusters. I thought that would look a little strange. I thought about the enamel dots, but I didn't really have tone on tone to stick them. And that was what I had in my head. I tried the camera and the flower up there at the top. And then in a second, I'm going to realize, well, wait, I need to do something down there at the bottom. I've got that little smile down there, but I'm like, I don't really care for that by itself. So in a moment, I'm actually going to move that camera and that flower down. And that actually, I like that a lot. And it comes down. And so there, now you can see it. I brought it down. So now it looks more like the sketch where she had like the little floral with the little title thing. So that's like a little subtitle, obviously, that says smile. You can see kind of, although it's cut off a little bit, I've got the letters to the title stuck to my board up there, and I'll end up gluing those down. I don't glue it on camera, but I'll set them where they're going to go, and then I'll come back with my Nuvo glue after I set them all there. I do put the smile up on foam as well, and then also the little purple smiley face. That just perfectly matched the shirt she had on, too. I was so pleased with that. So I have a bit of a visual triangle with the little purple, and I think that turned out so cute, too. But I really don't overly embellish. I will end up in a second. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be looking at this layout and thinking about what can I do to these flower clusters. And I happen to look over at my little cart, my little Rascog here, and I have a glitter, I guess, brush pen thing. And I'm going to decide to pull that out. I don't pull that out very often at all. And what made me do it this time, I couldn't tell you, except I was sitting there looking at that going, I need to do something to these flowers. I should stop talking and ruin the surprise here because you're going to see me just, like I said, I'm going to lean over and in just a second and grab that little brush pen. I was telling you guys about these shoes. We did get them off of Etsy, by the way. So if you're kind of wondering, went online. I don't know if she saw something somewhere. I think she must have. I don't know where. She was doing it obviously as a bride. They do tons of look on Pinterest and all this other kind of stuff. And she'd seen these shoes some kind of way, and we found them on Etsy. And I think these showed up in May or June because we tried to be good about planning. So we ordered, and they did have to be custom made. So there was some weeks involved. It wasn't bad, though. The lady was really good about follow-up and sending tracking and just making sure everything was okay. And it was somewhere overseas. I don't recall exactly where. So I was actually really impressed with the customer service. Here's where I'm doing that glitter pen. And I just did it to basically the pink flowers. Again, no real particular reason, except I just wanted to do something to the little flower clusters. And so I just add a little shine, a little shimmer, a little shine. And once I do that, technically she had journaling on the lower right of that left-hand side of the sketch. I don't really do that because it's just going like in her wedding stuff, and I already know what it is. Although I guess I could say we bought it off of Etsy. But anyway, there's the layout. That's the slowdown. Thank you guys so much for watching. There will be a playlist below. I think I mentioned that in the beginning, so make sure you check that out. There's always tons of players. And again, if I can stay on top of things, I'll have a layout every single day this month that's from 30 Days of Sketches, plus the extras, this, Scrap Lift Crafternoons and all those kinds of things. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.